Here now with analysis, the host of Sunday Night in America, right here on the Fox News channel, my third favorite former House Oversight Committee chairman and former federal prosecutor Trey Gowdy, who's joining us. Chairman, thanks so much for joining us. You know, I was watching, and a lot of experts were very concerned about this ruling from SCOTUS. In fact, I watched Rosie O'Donnell, and she too expressed real serious concern. What's your take?
Yeah, Jason, I can't tell you the number of people in South Carolina who have been waiting on Rosie O'Donnell to weigh in on her opinion of a Supreme Court case that I would be willing to bet you a lot. I know one of your favorite things in the world would be donuts. I'll bet you a dozen donuts that she hasn't read the opinion. If you've read the opinion, you know that it also helps like Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton and George Bush and every executive to come. It simply means you cannot be held criminally liable for your official acts. Those acts that are in kind of the periphery, the penumbra, kind of in the shadows of those expressed presidential powers. You have a presumption of immunity, but there is no immunity for unofficial acts. So anyone who tells you that a president can order SEAL Team 6 to kill someone and get away with it is either just not really smart, can't read the opinion, or completely disingenuous.
But I saw Justice Sotomayor. She took a position on that where it talked about some of the extremes. And I thought, but that's not what this ruling says, even though it was the dissent. What was your take on what she said or she wrote?
For everyone who worries that the court has been politicized, just read her dissent, which is why Chief Justice Roberts spent so much time at the end of the majority opinion kind of undercutting or impeaching the dissent. Again, if you read this majority opinion, it is crystal clear, unofficial acts that are outside the parameters of what a president should do. There is no immunity, Jason. They're treated exactly like you or I would be treated. But think about this. President Obama ordered the killing of an American citizen that he deemed to be a threat to our national security. And the statute of limitations does not run on that. So this is an opinion that protects all former living presidents and those to come. It's just that they hate Donald Trump so much they can't get beyond that.
So I've got to shift gears just slightly here because Donald Trump is not totally out of the woods, although he could be, but he's not necessarily totally out of the woods. There's still going to be a lot of wrangling probably happening after the election. Do you read that the same way?
Well, here's the way I read Jack Smith's D.C. case. Part of it is dead. Part of it has a really faint pulse. It's on life support. And then you have the fake elector scheme, which is going to require fact-finding. It's going to require hearings, not a trial, but hearings. Georgia is also a fake elector allegation, but I think that's been made into a Lifetime movie. I mean, it's so laughable what's happening in Georgia. I don't even consider that to be like a real case. That's like a bad romance movie. So then you got Florida. There's not a chance in the world that's going to go to trial between now and the election. And I'm not big on predictions, JC, but I'll tell you this. I'd be willing to guarantee a Trump Department of Justice is not going to prosecute President Trump. So I don't want to step out on a limb, but I don't think a Trump Department of Justice is going to prosecute the boss. That leaves New York. It is fascinating that Judge Merchan said if such proceedings are necessary, because there was evidence from when he was president, when Trump was president, that was introduced at trial, which cast that whole proceeding in a brand new light in light of that John Roberts opinion.
Well, Trey Gowdy, I wanted to ask you if you felt more comfortable now that Hunter Biden is attending all of Joe Biden's meetings and phone calls, but we're going to have to hold that for another discussion. But I hope you talk about that on your show on Sunday night.
It might be perkier at the next debate if he lets Hunter help.
Yeah, well, maybe he could be his, chief pharmacist or something. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Despite calls to replace...
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.